Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into the world of security clearances, those coveted badges of trust that open doors to some of the most interesting and important jobs out there. Now, you might be thinking security clearances, that's just for the folks in uniform, right? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because that's where you're wrong. While military service is certainly one path to a clearance, it's far from the only one. We're going to shine a light on 5 alternative routes to getting your hands on that clearance without ever having to learn how to fold a fitted sheet. From government agencies to private contractors, research labs to the halls of diplomacy, we're about to unlock a treasure trove of opportunities you might never have known existed. So, stick around, because this is your chance to break free from the preconceived notions and discover a world of possibilities you never thought possible. Let's kick things off with a path that's often overlooked. Government civilian positions. Now I know what you're thinking. Government work sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry, but hold your horses, my friend, because we're not talking about your average paper-pushing gig. We're talking about roles within agencies like the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Homeland Security, and countless others, where you can contribute to national security, intelligence analysis, cybersecurity, and a whole lot more. And the best part, many of these positions require security clearances, but don't necessarily demand military experience. So, how do you get in on this action? Well, it all starts with a good old-fashioned job hunt. Government websites like usajobs.gov are your go-to resources for finding open positions. Be prepared for a rigorous application process, including background checks, interviews, and potentially even polygraph tests. But trust me, the reward of serving your country in a critical role is well worth the effort. And who knows, you might even get a cool government-issued coffee mug out of it. Now, let's step outside the realm of government and venture into the world of defense contractors and private sector companies. These are the businesses that build the weapons, develop the technology, and provide the support services that keep our national security apparatus humming along. And guess what? They need people with security clearances to handle sensitive information in projects. We're talking about companies like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and a whole ecosystem of smaller firms that play a vital role in national defense. From engineering and software development to cybersecurity and intelligence analysis, there's a vast array of opportunities out there for those with the right skills and clearances. Now, getting a clearance through a private company usually involves being sponsored by the company itself. That means they'll initiate the clearance process on your behalf once you've been hired for a position that requires it. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to polish up that resume, network like your life depends on it, and land that dream job that comes with a top secret clearance as a signing bonus. Alright, let's shift gears and talk about a path that's perfect for the intellectually curious research and development projects. Now, when you think of R&D, you might picture scientists in lab coats, tinkering with beakers and test tubes, and while that's certainly part of it, the world of R&D extends far beyond the laboratory. We're talking about groundbreaking research in fields like aerospace, defense technology, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and more. And guess what? Many of these projects are funded by the government and require security clearances to protect sensitive information and intellectual property. Universities, research institutions, and even private companies all participate in these projects, offering a diverse range of opportunities for those with the right expertise. Now, to get involved in these projects, you'll need to identify the areas that align with your skills and interests. Look for research labs, universities, or companies that are working on government-funded projects, and reach out to them to explore potential opportunities. Remember, a strong academic background, relevant research experience, and a passion for pushing the boundaries of knowledge can be your ticket to a security clearance and a front row seat to cutting-edge innovation. Now let's turn our attention to a path that's all about protecting our communities and keeping our nation's safe law enforcement and homeland security roles. Now, we're not just talking about your average beat cop here. We're talking about specialized roles within agencies like the FBI, the DEA, the Secret Service, and various branches of Homeland Security, where you'll be tasked with investigating crimes, protecting critical infrastructure, and safeguarding our nation from threats both foreign and domestic. And yes, many of these positions require security clearances to access sensitive information, handle classified investigations, and collaborate with other agencies. So if you're drawn to a career that involves upholding the law, protecting the innocent, and bringing criminals to justice, this path might be right up your alley. Now, the entry requirements for these roles vary depending on the agency and the specific position. But generally, you'll need a strong academic background, relevant experience in law enforcement or security, and a squeaky clean record. Finally, let's jet set around the globe and explore a path that's perfect for the internationally minded foreign service and diplomatic assignments. Now, when you think of diplomats, you might picture fancy cocktail parties and high-level negotiations, and while that's certainly part of the job, the world of diplomacy is far more complex and demanding than it might seem. We're talking about representing your country abroad, promoting peace and stability, protecting American interests, and navigating the intricacies of international relations. And guess what? Many roles within the State Department and other foreign affairs agencies require security clearances to handle sensitive information, engage in confidential discussions, and protect national security interests on foreign soil. So if you're fluent in multiple languages, passionate about global affairs, and eager to experience life in different cultures, this path might be your calling. Now, to embark on this diplomatic adventure, you'll typically need to pass the Foreign Service Officer test, undergo a rigorous selection process, and receive specialized training. So there you have it, folks. 5 alternative paths to obtaining a security clearance without ever having to set foot on a military base. From government agencies to private companies, research labs to the halls of diplomacy, the opportunities are as diverse as the individuals who pursue them. Remember, a security clearance isn't just a piece of paper. It's a symbol of trust, a badge of honor, and a passport to a world of exciting and meaningful careers. So, don't let preconceived notions limit your aspirations. Explore your options, leverage your skills and experiences, and chart your own course to success. The world of security clearances awaits, and it's ready to welcome you with open arms.